All right.
First
AOC is mocked after calling Elon Musk one of the most unintelligent billionaires I've ever met.
and foremost,
Mocked by who? The New York Post readership.
Understand that there is already a federal agency who is a watchdog on waste in the United States. That is known as the government.
You realize this liquid is normal, right? You like to make a big song and dance about small things like that. I mean, it's at most an unnecessary risk that you're taking on, and at best, it might have marginal benefits. You're just eating dye, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, can I not just say it's stupid to eat dye? Industrial blue dye? Like, is that where we're at now? I can't even say it's fucking stupid. I have to sit here and be like, no, that's actually brilliant. Like, what is going on, man? Yeah, no, I think it's stupid to drink dye, okay? It's especially stupid when you've made an effort to consistently talk about how dangerous shit like this is, okay? And yes, there are a lot of chemicals and stuff like this that I drink. But you want to know what the difference is in stuff like this that I drink versus industrial blue dye? One has a tremendous amount of research, okay, that shows that it is fine to consume. Ironically enough, the blue dye people then also regularly look to the research to claim it's actually much more dangerous. Yes, it is dangerous if you consume it in unimaginably high quantities, okay? But so is everything. That Chatter's PFP, yeah. Chatter came in hot. Being like, excuse me, you make a mountain out of a molehill with stuff like this. I'm not. Also, you are not the Secretary of Health and Human Services, so it doesn't even matter what you do in regards to this. Like, this was something that people didn't understand about ivermectin, where people just consistently were yelling at the wrong things in defense of ivermectin. People were not saying ivermectin is not, effective in treating certain diseases or certain parasites specifically, okay? Or that humans can't consume ivermectin, okay? Its most common usage is in horses, is a horse dewormer, and that's why many people were purchasing it from places where you get horse dewormer, and we're using the horse quantities, the medicine specifically designed for horses. Okay, horses are much larger animals, so there's obviously an issue there. Anyway, yeah, people were sucking down on horse paste, but even that wasn't the actual issue here. The actual issue was that there was a false sense of security placed upon ivermectin as ivermectin is the savior, when the actual creators of ivermectin kept saying that there is no evidence that this actually helps with COVID. No evidence whatsoever. And those guys have all the opportunity to lie and say it has tremendous benefits for COVID. They would make a lot of money off of shilling ivermectin if it actually prevented or treated COVID. Never forget when Joe Rogan got COVID through the kitchen sink at it instead of the vaccine, literally turned gray. Yeah.
Accountability office. So all of these people acting like, oh, we're going to set up an agency to identify waste, as though that's never been an idea before. Like, take a number. These people, and I can tell you, in my experience, I have encountered many billionaires in my career. You all have seen many of those encounters in hearings, in other, forms of questioning, etc. I can tell you that this
Joe Rogan turning gray was a filter CNN used? No, dog. What do you mean? It was from his Instagram. I watched his actual Instagram. I didn't watch the CNN coverage
dude
initially.
is probably one of the most unintelligent.
It's understandable that he looked like shit. He had COVID, dude. What are you talking about?
Billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed.
Methylene blue is literally a fucking medication, not a dye unless chemical infused. Do the math. It's not that hard. Why did you come in? Oh, God. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. Look at this. It's just not even loading shit. It's so goddamn annoying. Oh, my Lord. What is happening? Is this a Twitch-related problem or is this just my computer? I can't tell. Just you? Okay. Hoping that this will fix the issue. Nope. Failed to load module. Clear cache? How do you clear the cache? Is it in settings? Go to browser history. Now, I don't want to delete my browsing data. I don't want to get logged out of a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Control H, delete browsing data. Browsing history, time range, last hour. Okay, that's good. Okay. Let's see if this worked. Oh, it did work. I think. Oh, thank God. It worked. Okay, one less problem to freaking worry about. Why did that even happen? Why was that even an issue to begin with? It's so annoying. Okay. Hold on. Anyway, where was that chatter? What was I looking at with that chatter? Oh, what I was going to say is chatter came in hot, initially making it seem as though he just simply had a problem or that I made a big issue about this stuff, only to then turn around and be like, no, it's just medication. At least RFK doesn't steal from pharmaceutical companies. Like, why? I don't understand. I don't understand how people get to this place in their minds. Dominate the narrative. At least RFK doesn't steal from pharmaceutical companies. RFK hasn't stole from pharmaceutical companies to fund his campaign, unlike geriatric Bernie. Yeah. Bernie Sanders stealing from pharmaceutical companies to fund his campaign. Again, another chatter that is duped by Ian Miles Chong. Bernie Sanders has never received PAC money. As a matter of fact, the people that work at pharmaceutical companies, like the fucking janitor, has donated to his campaign in small dollar donations. The combination of those small dollar donations is what you saw on an Ian Miles Chong post, Ian Miles wrong post, and you turned around and thought, oh, we got him, boys. Bernie's making money off the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, I love that. What? What is happening to my goddamn internet, dude? What is this? What the fuck is this? I can't. This is my issue, right? This is a me problem. This is not like a. I've never actually seen this before. Control Shift R. Try restarting browser. I did that already. Yeah, Control Shift R worked, which is crazy. Everything is garbanzo, dude. Everything is garbage. Everything is broken. Right-wing populists have completely lost the plot as to who the enemy is. Elizabeth Warren does not take any money from healthcare or any lobbyists or CEOs. Look at the average donation. CEOs don't give $30 increments. Use your brains, people. If 10,000 nurses give you small contributions, that doesn't mean you're in the pocket of big pharma. Look.
I don't know if you saw this, but Elizabeth Warren got confronted, and it's on Twitter this morning. She got confronted about the amount of money that she's received from pharmaceutical drug companies. She said she's never received any money from pharmaceutical drug companies and never received any monies from any PACs. And then, of course, underneath it, community.
I'm glad you're covering this very niche stuff. It's not even niche. The problem is it's not niche, okay? It's actually out in the open. A lot of people think this way now. And a lot of people get their notes off of Twitter. It is no longer a niche, like conspiratorial minded attitude that people have. Okay? Fuck Joe Rogan. All right, well, we have a pro RFK guy who thinks Bernie is taking money from pharmaceutical corporations, but also doesn't like Joe Rogan for some reason. I guess you like the holistic medicine aspect of Joe Rogan, but like maybe not that he's a Ron DeSantis supporter. I don't know.
Note strikes again. And of course, she received millions.
Yeah.
She's a fucking liar.
Well, and it's an arms race. How can pharma cloak the money that it's giving so that there's plausible deniability at the point that Elizabeth Warren is confronted or Bernie Sanders?
Bernie Sanders was hilarious. Only 1.5 billion. Only 1.5 million out of 200 million.
Like, this guy went from being a Bernie Glazer, a Bernie bro, to shitting on Bernard Sanders. How did this happen? Like, how does your brain break in this direction, in this severe of a fashion? I do not understand. Truly.
Only 1.5.
Yep, that's what I saw as well.
Trying to say nothing. Only the hardworking people of this country giving money.
Well, I don't think...
I don't know if you saw...
Yeah, RFK Jr., Elizabeth Warren called this out, and I gave her credit for this as well at the time, but RFK Jr. is also making money off of pharmaceuticals. He literally has a hotline where he directs clients to lawyers and picks up a fee for directing clients to vaccine injury lawyers and shit. Okay? People figure out ways to grift, chatters. Sometimes in ways that you cannot comprehend. Wait, hold on. I have to fix everything now. All right. Weinstein and his brother has been completely laughed out of academia. Rogan literally robs people of the opportunity to learn. I know. But the Weinstein bros have only one method of making money now, and that is suckling on Joe Rogan's incredibly long nipples. Are you ever wrong and admit to it? Yes and yes. Very famously so, even though there is no benefit to admitting that you're wrong ever. It's not even remotely beneficial, and people yell at you all the time regardless. The most famous instance of me being wrong about Vladimir Putin will never invade Ukraine. That's far too insane for him to do. It would be devastating. Anyway, I think I know what your problem is. Is this the same computer that you brought to Japan? No, chatter. This is my normal desktop. Yes, the analysis was sound. The prediction was off. Sometimes your insults are a bit graphic for my brain. Fair. Another one I think is something I've thought about a lot. It's the Ukraine stuff and my initial reaction to Reactgate. I corrected you over something tiny linguistically, but it made a difference and you immediately backtrack. Respect where respect is due. 3 years of wrong prediction, though? What do you mean? I think that Ukrainian war is 3 years. What do you mean? I'm confused by this. The people who think this about you are clip watchers? Yeah. Yeah, Bernie's healthcare donors are people that work in the healthcare sector and people that work in medicine, people that work in the pharmaceutical companies, all the way down to like when you're donating to a political campaign, you say where you work, you write your place of business, like you write your employer, okay, and then it gets logged as being from that sector. You were wrong about co-hosting a podcast with a certain someone, but that's more of a hindsight 2020 kind of thing. Yeah, no, that's not. Anyway, there's a lot of chatter about donations to Bernie Sanders' 2020 presidential campaign from the pharmaceutical industry. To be clear, our data on industry giving rolls up contributions from individuals who work in that industry and PACs. Corporations cannot donate to campaigns. So that's the problem. People see that and they think they understand the situation, and they think that Kaya place. No. Good. Okay. Well, I'm glad I have it. Did you miss your Zin? No, I was able to make it work. The top blue check reply doesn't even know how political donos work. How do we know when pharma employees donate? Oh my God, dude. I'm losing it. Like, so much of American political discourse revolves around, I don't know a certain thing, and now I'm going to make it your problem. Like, that's just what this is. I don't know how something works, and it's actually your fault. And I'm not going to search. I'm not going to learn. I'm not invested in the truth at all. And it's your issue now. It's your fault now. Not, I think you are wrong. I think you were wrong about the streamers work harder socially than other professions. I get what you were trying to say, but try being in the service industry, big dog. I know your job is hard, but there are a lot of benefits that others don't get with the same amount of burnout. I need you to understand that, and I think you do, and you pulled back and self-corrected a little bit. I think that was big of you. Wait, what? No. You can't say I think you're wrong and then literally then repeat what I said. No, that doesn't count. Okay? What the hell? See, there are instances where I think I say things incorrectly. Okay? But then there are also people that literally clip me entirely out of context, and then Brigade and then Keemstar and the like jump on it. It's like coming in here and being like, you're wrong, big dog. I know you've been a massive advocate for for-profit healthcare, but honestly, I'm glad that you're finally coming to the conclusion that like profit should not be in the healthcare sector. Like that's ridiculous. I mean, about how your job is harder. I know, and I never took you as that. Oh my God. I think the easiest way to understand my position on this is that I don't work any other job. This is what I do. I have the freedom to be able to go and work another job. If I thought it was easier to do that job, I would do that job. Okay? That's it. Anyway. Is this the struggle session right now where Chowder's bringing up every one of your indiscretions and clips they saw out of context now? I know. Man, you got people talking shit then apologizing to themselves for you so you don't have to do shit, Lamau? What do you mean? Anyway. Have you seen the news on the White House Faith Office? No, I have not. I know you don't do it for the money, but I'm wondering if you would stop if you didn't get as much money as you do now. I mean, for many years before I got to this position, I wasn't making much money and I still was doing it with no clear indication that I would ever be this successful. I never assumed that I would get to this level of success on this platform. And I still did it. Also, even right now, I could just quit, but I don't. And the reason why I don't, so depressing. Chuck Schumer ripped by Democrats for Musk protest. Okay, wait, why is everything in italics now? What is going on with my fucking computer, dude?
Senator Sanders joins us now. You talk about an oligarchy running the White House. You have billionaires.
How did everything turn into italics? Even the captions. I don't know what's going on, but my shit is fucked up. Bro, even my captions are leaning right, dude. I'm on the right side of my camera. Captions are leaning right. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Now currying favor with the new administration, donating to the presidential library, the inauguration, making deals with family members of the Trump family. How far are we from a kleptocracy?
Well, let's start with oligarchy, and I think we are there. When you see three of the richest people in this country, the three richest, standing behind the president when he gets inaugurated, when you see Elon Musk, who contributed over $200 million, 270, to get Trump elected, and then becomes, in many ways, the most important appointee of the Trump administration. And when you see, since Trump's inauguration,
Software dev computer guy, what the hell did you do to your computer? I've never seen this after 12 years. I've never experienced this issue before. And I don't think a single chatter has ever experienced this issue before as well. Like all of it. What Musk is doing is illegal. The title is in italics. Everything is in italics. I don't know what it is, but I don't really care. Whatever.
Elon Musk becoming $150 billion
Twitter is not
richer in 2.5 weeks. $150 billion richer. You tell me whether or not we are living in an oligarchy. And I think the function of government under Trump, under Elon Musk, will not be to serve ordinary people, but to make the very richest people in this country even richer.
There are probably some people watching who think, oh, Elon Musk, smart guy, he's got these 19, 20-something-year-old tech wizards going into government and looking for waste and abuse, and what's wrong with that? What is wrong with what is going on?
Nothing wrong with looking for waste and the kinds of bureaucracy that exist. I think we can do a whole lot to get rid of the waste, the fraud, the excessive bureaucracy that exists in government, especially, by the way, in the Defense Department.
You did the same interview. You got the same amount of motion as Anderson Cooper, my goat. I did it for 30 minutes. Anderson only gets Bernie for 7.
What is wrong right now is one simple reality. What Musk is doing is illegal and unconstitutional. You cannot go into an agency like USAID and essentially fire everybody and get rid of that agency. You cannot do that's an agency that was created by Congress. They want to get rid of USAID? Fine. Come to the Congress, make your case. You can't do it unilaterally. You cannot withhold U.S. funds that were appropriated for Medicaid, for community health centers, for Head Start. You cannot put a freeze on that. That money was appropriated by the Congress. And as I hope every fourth grader in America knows, Congress holds the purse strings. And what I also worry about is not just the movement toward oligarchy, but this growing trend.
When you balling with Bernie, I'll figure it out soon.
I hope the American people are seeing clearly that we had the January 6th rioters, the people who were trying to, in a sense, overthrow an election, undermine democracy, contributed to the injuring of 170 Capitol Hill police officers. They are pardoned. And then the FBI agents who worked hard to make the case, doing what they are told, they are now being investigated. What is the future of the FBI? Is the criteria to be an FBI agent in the future one who swears allegiance to Donald Trump or one who upholds the Constitution and the rule of law? And I'll tell you something else in terms of authoritarianism, Anderson, and this is something that you and other people in the media should pay attention to. ABC paid a fine to Donald Trump, presumably for saying something that he didn't like. Meta, owned by Zuckerberg, paid a $25 million fine to Trump. Right now, Paramount, that owns CBS, is contemplating reaching a settlement with Trump. He has sued the Des Moines Register. The FCC is now investigating PBS and NPR. That is a movement toward authoritarianism when you go after and intimidate an independent media. So you add it all together, we're moving toward an oligarchy, we're moving toward authoritarianism, and in terms of kleptocracy, well, what can I say? Before he got inaugurated, Trump and his wife issued coins. They made billions of dollars. Anybody can give to the president, in a sense, by buying those coins. So the American people are going to stand up and fight back, or else we're going to be in real trouble.
We had a historian, Doris Kearns-Goodwin, on last week who talked about Andrew Jackson corrupting essentially government employees, giving out favors to people who curried favor with him. He gave them civil service jobs. And it took generations in America to correct that. And it took Teddy Roosevelt being the civil service commissioner for 6 years to really root that out and get a civil service that served the American people and not whoever was in power. The damage being done potentially, people think, oh, well, maybe it's just going to be 4 years. The damage can be for generations.
Right.
I mean, it goes without saying that I think the overwhelming majority of Americans want a strong, efficient, independent civil service. We can make improvements. I am not here to tell you that we don't have a bureaucracy, that we don't have waste. We do. We got to work on that. But you don't get rid of thousands and thousands of dedicated public servants and replace them with people who are simply loyal to Donald Trump. That's not the way democracy is supposed to work.
Let me just quickly ask you on Gaza. When you heard the President of the United States talking about turning the Gaza Strip, getting 2 million Palestinians out, as anybody who has read history or the region or been watching for the last year, Did you think this was a joke at first? I mean, can you is
Almost. Look, one could say that, Anderson. On the other hand, given the suffering that the Palestinian people have gone through under Netanyahu's brutal war, which has killed at least 45,000, injured over 100,000, mostly women and children, the idea that the President of the United States is going to say to these people, oh, by the way, you're going to have to leave the place where you live because we are going to build something equivalent to the French Riviera.
Well, also the thugs of Hamas are still there. I mean, it's not as if they have gone.
Yeah, but even that's right. So, and as you just discussed a moment ago, how do you do that? Are American troops involved? How much money is being spent? But the idea of telling 2.2 million people who live in an area, you're gone, we're going to build a French Riviera here so my billionaire friends can enjoy the beautiful view. It is, to say the least, preposterous. It ain't going to happen.